How to handle rejection.
Here's the question. What's going on inside the minds of top achievers that cause them to make extraordinary breakthroughs both personally and professionally? My name is Tim Schur, and I invite you to join me as we take a deep dive into the unconscious mind and discover how to transform your biggest dreams into a reality. Welcome to the How to Be Mesmerizing podcast.
Hey friends, how you doing? It's Tim, and I just got done doing a program for BSA. They're a huge architectural firm. Great company, great people. It was a lot of fun to sit in and listen to their high-powered meeting and talk about what they're up to. So a really amazing company and a great group of people. So but I was teaching how to create more sales and customer loyalty, and giving my psychological secrets that I've picked up over 30 years of playing around with the human mind. And they engineer amazing life structures and hospitals and schools and stuff like that, and I engineer human behavior. And so I was trading some secrets with them, and it's such a beautiful day today. And maybe I should go this way. I'll go this way so you can see it's dark. I'm trying to get you to see the water because that's what I'm seeing. But anyway, it was so beautiful. I thought I would just go for a little walk with you, if you don't mind, if you got a couple minutes, and talk about how to handle rejection. Because whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, there are going to be setbacks, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be things that just do not work out. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, it will feel like you're getting a lot of pushback and a lot of resistance. And sometimes they say when it rains it pours. And so how do you handle that? Because in my business, I'm always trying to sell somebody on something. I'm trying to sell them on happiness or more confidence or a new behavior or changing their leadership style or taking better care of their customers. I'm constantly trying to sell people on behaviors and new emotions. And there's a lot of pushback. A lot of times, people say that they want things and then they work real hard not to get it, and not on purpose, not intentionally, but it's resistance, right? I've said it a million times that there's 3 phases to a breakthrough, and phase 1 is resistance. Even if we want something, we get scared, and it's always because of these beliefs that we have in our unconscious mind that sometimes we're aware of, most of the time we're not aware of. So we've got to upgrade those beliefs. And but there's resistance, and then confusion, and then the breakthrough, right? So and I understand it, because I have definitely, most of the time in my life, if some opportunity comes up, I will often resist. And so I've been learning to take a look at that and see where that comes from and shift it. And that's where the personal growth comes in. If you are constantly working on yourself and trying to grow and hiring coaches and participating in programs and reading books or listening to podcasts, you're going to grow. Your awareness is going to increase, and that gives you more power and the ability and potential to shift beliefs, upgrade beliefs, get your shift together, and start getting better results. And but when a lot of times things aren't going to work out. And so I always remember that in baseball, you can strike out 7 out of 10 times and still be in the Hall of Fame, right? You get a 300 batting average, which is pretty amazing. And so, but that also means that you're striking out 6 or 7 times, at bat out of 10. And most people don't realize that. Like Babe Ruth, if you remember the Babe, if you're old like me, then he was the king of home runs, but he was also the king of strikeouts. And we talk about all his home runs. And they would ask Babe, a reporter asked him once, what do you think about when you strike out? And he says, I think about hitting the ball over the fence, because all he focused on is what can I do now and what can I do next? And that's the outcome that he wanted, and that's what he kept focusing on. When we are under pressure, when we're under stress though, our strategy shifts, our strategy changes. So when we're under pressure and stress, what happens is we start focusing on what we're afraid of. We start focusing on what we don't want. We start getting scared. What if it doesn't work out? What if things don't happen? What if, I start losing all this stuff? Or what if I don't achieve my goal? What's going to happen then? And we really start paying in advance for stuff that hasn't happened. Now, what we do in our brain is we say, well, it's happened in the past, and so that's what I'm afraid it might happen again. Well, then you have the opportunity to make different choices. Learn from your past and make different choices. what people tend to do is they just keep making the same choices, or sometimes they'll adjust a little bit and start making, some new choices, but under pressure, they slip back into their old strategy. And then, of course, you feel the pain that comes along with that fear-based strategy. So it really, when you're handling rejection, you got to remember that no matter what happens, no matter what you go through, you get to decide how you're going to feel about it. It's not the situation, it's the meaning that you give to it. And so you get final say-so over how you're going to feel today. You can make yourself feel horrible, or you can make yourself feel peaceful, or you can make yourself feel happy. Really, you get to decide how you're going to feel today. And that is our power. And most of us give it away. I gave my power away. I felt like I didn't have this power. I felt I was just reacting based on reality, based on the situation, based on the fact that I didn't have any money in my bank account, based on the fact that I had all this debt, based on the fact that my relationship would be great and then rocky and then great and then rocky, based on my calendar, looking at my calendar and seeing, oh, I have no clients this week, or next week or the next week. And so I've been in those situations many, many times. And that's why I talk about them a lot, because people will think, well, you are doing all these big things now. Well, even though there's still times where I'll do a bunch of big things and then there'll be nothing. There'll be like a drought. I mean, a lot of motivational speakers and successful people over the years have had that, right? Where they are on top of the world and then all of a sudden they're not, right? Or there's somebody else that comes in that's taken over, that's like 20 years younger than them. There's always, I can't tell names, but I've talked to people who are real close with some of the legends in our industry, and they would say that, I've felt lost. I felt like I wasn't relevant anymore, that, my best years were behind me, right? And then that messes with you. It messes with your mind. It messes with your ability to keep adding value, to keep making a difference. So, sorry you're seeing all these cars in the background instead of this water, but if I do that, then I don't think you can see me, which is probably better if you see the water than me anyway. So I just want you to know that no matter who it is, we've all gone through that stuff. We've all had those worries, those fears, those doubts, those insecurities, and you will often, through this path of personal development and emotional freedom, grow past a lot of it, but it's still going to be there every once in a while. There's still going to be things that you want and it just doesn't work out. And sometimes it's because there's something better that's coming your way, and sometimes it's because that's how we learn and we have to grow, and sometimes it's just what happens. But every time we have a choice that we can make. And I really believe that, because I've watched people who were horribly depressed, stuck, broke, morbidly obese, in relationships that were heading to divorce, and I've seen them turn it around in front of my eyes and accomplish extraordinary things. People who felt lost, who didn't know who they were, who didn't feel like they had an identity, who felt like they had been through horrible trauma, and I've watched them turn it around. I've watched them change their attitude, and it's been amazing. And of course, I've grown so much in my own life as well. And so I always think, if I can do it, you can do it for sure. So, but I've seen thousands of people do it as well, which is what gives me such certainty when I talk to you about the fact that you do have control over how you feel, that you can take charge. Now, you might be really exhausted and worn out. You might be on way too much caffeine. You might be smoking like a fiend. You might be binging out on sugar. So you might be having hormonal problems, you might be sick, you might be having side effects from medication. All of that is real and valid. That makes it harder to do these things when you don't feel good. The solution to that is recharging your batteries. That's why I've used and stayed with hypnosis for all these years. Because when you use hypnosis, it deeply relaxes you faster than anything else I find, faster than meditation, faster than guided imagery, faster than yoga, faster than anything else. When you start to use hypnosis the right way, I mean, there's lots of hypnotists out there, and like any other profession, there's some amazingly talented ones, and then there's some that are train wrecks that shouldn't be practicing. But you get that in every profession, right? So doctors, psychologists, you know, you name it. But anyways, it recharges your batteries. It makes you feel so good inside. And then it also implants these positive affirmations, these suggestions deeply into your subconscious mind. And as I get older and I'm using these programs more and more often, I am a real believer that everybody should be going to sleep at night listening to my brain software programs because I've tested them with thousands and thousands of people, and all you have to do is push a button on your phone and go to sleep. I mean, it doesn't take, you know, any more time than that. It's really a lay and play, as my friend Nathan said. It's a lay and play system. You lay down, you press play, and then the program does the work for you. And so, I mean, it's just amazing that that we have these resources and nobody knows about them and nobody's using them. What we keep doing is taking more medication, or, you know, thinking that just getting one massage a year is going to make a difference. and it's not. You've got to consistently recharge your mind and recharge your body. And then that'll recharge your willpower, that'll drive your optimism, that'll recharge your optimism, that'll recharge your ability to be able to focus more on what you want. And so, because I know it's hard enough trying to focus your mind, but then when you're not feeling good and you're depressed and you're angry and you're resentful and you have so much emotional baggage from the past, it makes it feel impossible. In fact, it makes it feel like all of it is a bunch of BS, that it's all a lie, that all of this, you know, motivational crap is just that. And, but that would be false. That would be a self-limiting belief that's keeping you stuck. And if you want your freedom back, your emotional freedom, that is a huge part of your physical freedom. You know, when we're sick, we almost always think it's just because of, you know, our environment or what we're eating, or we got bad luck, or our hereditary, our genes. But so much of it is because of our emotional health, because of how we feel about ourselves, because of, you know, the anger and the hurt and the resentment that we hold inside, the forgiveness that we haven't given, the grudges that we hold. Migraines. I've worked with so many people with migraines over the years, and it's always, almost always, not always, but so much of it has to do with unexpressed anger. It feels like we're just holding it all in and we're gonna burst, right? And so people get these migraines. I remember one of my clients, she had been going to the Diamond Clinic in Chicago, a migraine center, pretty famous place, for 10 years, doing everything possible. And then we did one of our releasing sessions where we cleared her energy and upgraded her beliefs, and her migraines went away. She couldn't even believe it. In fact, I have a video testimonial of her talking about it somewhere on one of my websites. But yeah, she's like, I can't even believe this. And then she got a little ticked off, which of course, that's what she does. She would get angry. That was her coping strategy. And because being mad feels more empowering than being depressed all the time. So, but she's like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and then I do an hour session with you, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling better. And she got really mad. She's like, why don't more people know about this? And I always just smile and say, you know, I'm working on it. But anyway, whether it's stress or migraines, or, you know, no matter what it is, there's an emotional clearing that has to take place in order for you to get really healthy. You know, I did lots of studies and read a lot of research, and did my master's thesis actually on the effects of hypnosis and relaxation and guided imagery on people who have cancer. And you know, and how they showed consistently that when you use these personal development interventions, that people live way longer and way happier, and have a higher rate of remission. And so you'd think, well, everybody would want that then, but that's not the case, because we just keep slipping back into the old stressful patterns. And I really believe it's just because we don't know any better. If you are actually watching this video, you're in a very powerful, unique place, because most people never even hear a message like this. And you know, the 7 billion people on the planet, and you right now are watching this video, that's pretty exciting. To me, that feels like you're primed and you're ready to have a pretty extraordinary breakthrough in your life, to create more abundance of happiness, joy, peace of mind, prosperity, whatever it is that your heart desires. And you can have that just by taking heed to what I'm sharing with you, because this is powerful stuff. It's important. It's life-changing. There isn't anything else that you can do that'll be more rewarding than learning how to love and accept yourself, how to let go of those pains from the past, how to have a sense of peace in your life, and how to control your thoughts. You know, thought management is where it's at. And so the more you focus on that, the happier your life is going to be. So I know this was a video on how to overcome objection, but really that's how you do it. You create a strong foundation, a strong voice inside of you. So,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so you create a strong foundation inside of you where you feel secure and loved and hopeful, and then you figure out, all right, what can I do next? What can I do next? And whatever you look for hard enough, you're gonna find. And really, when you start moving in that direction, it's amazing how God and the universe just start sharing all these clues that help you to have more of what you want. So it's not rejection, it's just not right now, or you need to learn, or we were going a different direction for whatever reason. It's just an opportunity for you to say, okay, what can I learn from this? And then next, all right, what can I do next? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, all you can really do is your best. All you can really do is show up and give the very best you got at that moment. And then let it go and focus on what can I do next, right? Where else can I add more value? Where else can I add more value in my life? Where else can I add more value in other people's lives? And when you do that, then it's pretty amazing the opportunities that will start to present themselves. And so that's the message that I have for you today. So thanks so much for going on this walk with me. I appreciate you. And it's beautiful. The sun's out today. It's a really pretty day. So it's good. So, all right. Well, you take care. I'm going to leave you with this beautiful view here. And please listen to the things that I talked about and take them to heart. And when you do, then your success will be a sure thing. All right. So thanks so much. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, would you like more free tips on how to be a mesmerizing leader? Then check out mesmerizingleadership.com, and also hang out with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tim Scher. Thanks so much, and make your day a sure success.